I don't know why I want to sing Abba right now. Why do I want to sing Abba right now? Where'd you go? I'm all alone. Double, triple check. There's that Mountain Dew.
Meowdy, partner.
I'm happy you got to do that now. I told her to go grab her cowboy hat so she could say it again.
I am.
Meowdy, partner.
All right, done with that.
Okay, vibe change.
Welcome to the INTJ and Cat Show.
Oh, shoot.
I'm your host, INTJ, and today we are not featuring a cat.
Oh.
But wait, did we already do the fish?
No, we haven't. But I was freaking out because I'm like, we haven't even talked beforehand. Oh, I need a mic.
We'll try again.
Hey, guys.
Welcome to the INTJ and Cat Show. Today, instead of featuring a cat, we're branching out a little bit.
It's the INTJ and Fish Show.
Featuring this fishy. Blub, blub.
Blub,
Blub, blub.
This is the INTJ and Fish Show.
Yeah.
This fish's name, god damn it.
That's not his name.
His name is, god damn it. Gosh darn it. Where did she even send it? See, guys, I'm losing track because sometimes you guys will send through DMs, sometimes you'll send pictures through email.
And keep sending them because we love them.
Maybe it was the gram. So today, guys, we're gonna try out, by we I mean me. I'm gonna try out the handheld rather than clipping because this outfit, it was making it difficult to try to figure out the cord thing.
I have no information because you only sent me the picture of the fish. So,
yeah, let's see. I think it was her, right? Oh, okay. The fish's name is Harry. I think that's the species, right?
that would make sense.
Panda corridora?
Also known as Cory Cats.
It's a fantastic... Is that true?
But she just...
Oh! I thought you were just being an INTJ and you were really smart and you just knew that.
Okay. Let's be honest, though. I get a lot of credit for being smart when I actually just read. And I don't mean that in, like, I read a book. I mean that, like, we're somewhere, and I'm like, oh, this is the fact.
It happens.
And everyone's like, how did you know that? And I'm like, there's a giant sign right here.
It does happen all the time. If we go to the store, if we're at the zoo, if we're wherever, I'm like, how did you know? And you're like, there's literally a sign.
Yeah. So.
But to be honest, there is some weird psychology because I'm not going to out myself, but there's somewhere that I work that has, it's very difficult to navigate. But really, it's not. Like, it is, but it isn't. Because if people actually just stopped and read the signs, they would figure it out. But there's something in the psychology where you're like, where am I supposed to go? And people, like, there's literally a sign in front of you, but I understand because I do that. I understand it. So I do think there is a personality component.
There probably is.
Anyway, your fish is adorable. And I'm so glad that someone finally sent me a fish. Now, don't let that stop you if you have a pet fish and you'd like to send me a picture of your fish and have us type your fish in a future episode.
Cats, too. We like cats. We like dogs.
Whatever animal you have. Some guy in the comments today on our new video said something about getting a pet gorilla. I don't think that's legal, but if you had one, I would type it.
Okay, but...
And then turn you into the authorities.
If you go to the zoo and you take a picture of a gorilla, we'll take that, too.
I'll take that, too. Go to your local zoo. Take a picture.
AZA approved, please.
AZA approved zoo. Take a picture of a red panda, send it my way, I will type it for you.
Oh, I love red pandas. They're cute.
They are adorable. They're way too adorable. It's kind of concerning.
Kind of like Rhea.
Exactly. Kind of like me, honestly.
Okay.
Just a little too adorable. Makes you wonder. Something suspicious is going on.
All right. So, welcome to the ENFP and INTJ show. This is your host, ENFP. She is not wearing her pin today, but that does not mean that she is no longer certified.
It was kind of hard with this dress. Sorry.
I need to come back to something real fast.
You're just going to have to trust me.
I'm INTJ and I like patterns. Now looping back to my other thought.
Looping?
Looping!
We already did that episode.
No. I said you're not wearing your pin today, but you're still certified. And that made me think about, like, I was talking to someone and they're like, I can't drive. I don't have my driver's license. And I'm like, but you're still licensed to drive. Like, just because you don't have it on you, you still have been given the green light to drive. And so, like... Yes,
we, to be clear, are not encouraging you to drive around without your driver's license. You should always have your driver's license on you when you're driving.
Or at least know your driver's license number, because you can give that, because that's all they're looking for. Is they just want to know you're licensed to drive, and that little card is proof that you're licensed to drive.
Sure.
I'm not crazy.
I just want out of this conversation, I say just keep your driver's license on you, okay? For liability's sake.
What liability? Our liability?
I don't know. The liability of the laws of nature? I don't know. God's gonna come after me.
Laws of nature. Driver's license is a completely man-made law.
Listen,
Cars
I'm just
are man-made.
saying,
Roads are man-made.
I don't want to be giving people bad advice and then have the Lord above spite me and
That's what the Lord's going to come after you for?
strike me down. I don't know how it works.
Look.
I am but a mirror. I am but a mirror. I am but a mere ENFP, and to be honest, I'm a great driver. I always have my driver's license when I drive, and I've never been pulled over. Knock on wood. Never been pulled over.
I'm a mediocre driver, and I stand by everything I've said.
And she has been pulled over many times, and I was in the car with her once when she was pulled over.
Many?
So you guys
What
decide
constitutes as many?
more than once, and that's a lot to me. So I want you guys to decide who to trust here.
I'm going to put a caveat in here. I've been driving a lot longer than you have. I've driven more than you have.
You also scare me when you drive.
Yes, but the amount of miles that I've driven is probably triple to the amount of miles that you've driven.
Well, you're not dead yet.
And
So
I never will be.
there's that. So I don't know what your guys' standards are for who you're going to listen to about taking driver's advice.
Look, everybody says they're a good driver. Trust someone who can tell you the truth about their driving abilities. I'm okay.
I think I'm actually like a good driver. And maybe I'm not, and maybe I'm delusional. I will acknowledge that. Maybe I'm delusional, but I think I actually am a good driver.
Okay. And I am also an okay driver.
I'm probably like between average and like good, you know?
I mean,
I'm in there.
There are truck drivers, there are NASCAR drivers who drive for a living.
Exactly. So I'm not
We're
there.
not professional drivers.
I think I'm a good driver.
Like a good
Not great, not exceptional, and, you know.
layman. What's like, there's professional and there's...
I am the MBTI of drivers.
What?
I'm useful. I'm just trying to tie it back in. I don't know.
Look, and the one time that I was told that you were there, it was because I was speeding, but it wasn't fair.
Okay.
It was downhill on a curve.
I think
and you know that.
Next episode...
You were there for that. Next episode, we're going to take you driving.
No, next episode, we're going to rank best to worst drivers of the Myers-Briggs types.
Well, I feel like INTJs in general are probably better drivers. I'm just an okay driver.
Yeah. Well, for the sake of that video, we'll have to define, like, what's a good driver.
There's another thing.
You know, does it mean being skilled? Because I would say, well, then maybe an ISTP. But maybe an ISTP doesn't want to obey the rules of the road, and so therefore they're a bad driver. I don't know.
The rules of the road are completely man-made. It's a construct. The SJs put it in there.
The truth comes out. Now you understand.
You know that it's true, and you know that it's true.
I am such a rule follower. Is that an ENFP thing? I don't know,
I don't think so.
I'm a rule follower in the sense that I don't want to get in trouble.
I
want to do what's right.
I'm pretty sure I'm in trouble even when I'm not in trouble.
And you just don't care.
You just can't care after a certain point.
My INFJ mom is kind of low-key always scared that she's going to get in trouble. But I don't know if that's an INFJ thing or like her own issue.
Be even quieter.
Speaking of INFJs, today's topic, guys.
Hi, Katusha.
We were requested this. Actually, let me pull her up. This was actually in an email. She emailed us. And hey, let this be an example that if you actually email us requesting a topic, I'm probably more likely to take it seriously and do it sooner.
Actually, fun story. One of the first emails that we got from our friend John went to spam. And then...
Oh my gosh. Yes, sorry, John. So if you guys follow the YouTube channel, just call me John. If you don't know, we've collaborated with him a couple times. Fantastic person. Please go sub to him and watch his stuff. So he had emailed us early on, like pretty much right away when we started up a few months ago. And his email got sent to spam, and we were new to this. I didn't think to check spam. And now I know I should be checking spam because I checked it like a month later, and I was like, I was mortified. I felt so horrible. I thought he's never going to respond to us again. Like, he probably thinks we're the biggest jerks. But he was delightful and got back and understood. Yeah. So I'm learning even simple things like, hey, check the spam folder.
Yeah. She's becoming, a
YouTuber?
Yes, you're becoming a YouTuber. You learned how to put in the chapters, which I told her.
It is pretty funny because it's like simple little things that
when we started, because she was putting like the timestamps in the comments, I was like, I think we could do chapters. And she's like, that seems too hard. I was like, okay.
Shout out to Bradley. Bradley's a real one.
Yeah.
You always help us.
Yeah. Shout out to Bradley.
He literally, all it took was him just saying, hey, by the way, just boop, boop, boop. And you can do. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, Bradley, you might need to email us. She needs some help.
Do you want to be our producer? Someday we're going to get a producer.
Yeah, we can't pay you yet.
We can't pay.
We can't even pay us yet.
Yeah. Well, one of these days, we're going to hire a producer, and it's going to be Bradley. Probably. Maybe. Don't hold me to that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Miss Megan. Your name is Megan?
Sippy Cup of Blood.
Sippy Cup of Blood. Ooh. On TikTok. I think I see you on the TikTok.
How mysterious.
So she emails us, and she says, I love your show. Thank you. I can't even get past the first line. I'm just crying. She says, I wanted to ask your thoughts on maybe a video about the INFJ and INTJ dynamic. Maybe a deep dive video. And then she went on, we emailed a little bit back and forth so I could get some like clarification on like what are the details about what she wants to hear. And so thank you for that. She sent some more details about what she's looking for. And ironically, it was like fate. Was the universe aligned, because all of a sudden, literally that day and like the next few days, I was getting comments and stuff of people like, can you talk about INFJ and INTJ together? I was like, I think this is a sign we got to do a video about it.
Yeah, we have here. We put a post on the tubes that she just asked people's type. And it's a lot of people who identify with INFJ or INTJ.
Yeah.
Then there's a mix. We got some of everyone.
Side note, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, because I post community posts at least once a week. I try. And so I posted this week just because of my ENFP curiosity. I wanted to know what is everyone's types that are following us right now and watching the channel regularly. So thank you for commenting and letting us know your types. And what I have learned is that my plan is working, and I am assembling an INTJ and INFJ army.
What are you going to do with them?
I don't know. It feels like a lot of power and a lot of responsibility that I really shouldn't have.
So you don't have a call to action?
No, not yet. But stick around, subscribe, because maybe in a year, I'm going to have the battle plan, and you guys are going to be my loyal followers, my loyal soldiers, and we will go to war.
We do an INTJ, INFJ convention, and they have to pass a test to get in.
You have to pass a test to determine if you are a real INTJ or INFJ. Otherwise, you don't get in.
And it's really just an ENFP going beep, 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 beep.
It's just the ENFP radar. I can just tell.
That's
I'm
not
like,
scientific.
do I feel magnetically drawn to you like I want to adopt you? You're an INTJ. You're an INFJ for sure. And then I let you in. There's like a red rope. It's the whole thing. Or maybe it should be caution tape. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. Yeah. Maybe I'm going to make a rope out of licorice and, you know, those red vines. And then I'm going to get distracted and then I'm going to eat it.
And everyone's going to be there.
And then everyone's going to come in and I'm like, oh, crap. And I'm like, oh, well, I have an army of all these types now. And then I'm going to get overwhelmed. I'm not going to know what to do. And then I'm going to say, hey, guys, I have a bunch of red licorice. Do you guys want to eat it? And then we're all just going to sit in a room and eat red licorice.
Yeah. And we'll have pop-out rooms on the sides for like different types specifically.
What was this episode about? I already forgot.
The INTJ, INFJ relationship.
Right. Okay. So
right there on your notes.
So circling back. Yeah. So it does seem we do have a lot of INTJ and INFJ in our comments. And I actually have seen people in our comments across platforms saying that they are an INTJ who has an INFJ partner and vice versa. So it definitely exists. It's out there. It's happening.
I mean, okay.
I think what Miss INTJ was about to say, and she rightfully stopped her TE from happening, is that we don't know if you are actually.
I think, yeah, there's like a Reddit thread that's like, should we trust people to type themselves? And no, but also like you're the only one that can kind of type you. So it's just muddled. It's a messy world. Depending on how well versed you are in Myers-Briggs and how self-aware you are, helps like with that accuracy. And so I really like, I take everything with a grain of salt when people tell me their type, and I'm not going to like correct them unless they ask for my opinion. Mm-hmm. But also I've known several ENFJs who identify as INFJs.
No, but I do like your little never mind.
Yeah. Our ENTJ insisted that they were an ENTP.
Actually, she believed she was an ENFP.
Yeah, for a very long time.
Yeah. And
we slowly got her over. And so, yeah,
Listen, for the sake of this episode, we, just like with anything, we just take you at your word that you are an INFJ with an INTJ, whatever, vice versa. So, yeah, originally I was like, oh, maybe we'll just do like a little segment about this at the end of an episode or something. But with the amount of people that were interested in the topic and knowing everything we'd have to go into, I was like, let's just make a whole episode on it. So this episode is dedicated to our thoughts on the INFJ and INTJ dynamic. Now, I have an INTJ sitting next to me. I, unfortunately, am not an INFJ. So what I have to go on is, number one, I am an NF. So I am in that temperament group. I am an NF. Obviously, I'm utilizing my Myers-Briggs knowledge. And also, I have an INFJ mother that I'm very close to. So I witness how she is. So I don't know how much preparing you had to do.
I did very little.
Yeah, because
none. I asked her today. I was like, what topic? Well, because, okay, so you got the flu.
I did. It was awful.
Y'all heard about that.
I almost died.
You did not.
I almost died.
You just had the flu.
Literally almost died.
And so the day that we normally would film on, you were way too sick to do it. Even though you made me film when I had the flu.
I do not recall making you film.
You forced me to.
Guys, that's fake news. Don't listen to her.
I will say...
Also, you were not as sick as I was.
I was not as sick as you are.
To be fair.
And I'm more inclined to reject the concept of sickness and keep trying to do my life.
You are. Oh, God, see, we go on. This is such an ADHD podcast because now I want to get into the topic of every INTJ and INFJ I know, like, refuses to accept when they get sick. Now, I'm not going to say that that's every single one, but all the ones I've known, they reject when they're sick and they're just so stubborn. They're like, I'm fine. I can still work.
I think it's because the SE is so far for us.
Maybe, yeah.
Because NI and then you get the guys in the middle and then SE at the end.
The little guys
in the middle.
So cute.
Little guys. And so we can like very easily kind of just push into our NI and kind of
maybe
outside of the SE. And
yeah.
Like, so it's like, oh, I don't feel good. I'll just ignore that. And because it's so far away. Like I had a friend who was ISFP. And I remember, like, because her SE was so high for her.
Yeah.
Like, if she missed a meal, she, like, starts shutting down. And then we'd eat, and she's like, oh, I feel so much better. And I'm like...
How do you do that?
Right? Because there've been days I think I've forgotten. Like, there was a day when we were traveling, and again, you were sick. Wow. You being sick is coming up a lot. And so we hadn't gone out and done anything or really eaten. We just kind of, like, stayed in. Mm-hmm. And then you started feeling better in the evening, and you came, and you were like, have you eaten today? I was like, no, I read this book instead.
Yeah, you're more the type of person like, why have I just not been happy today? I'm a little grumpy. I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't eaten anything. Yeah. That's the common INFJ, INTJ experience.
Yeah. And so, like, that's just the tangent. But if you're an INFJ or an INTJ, like, how do you experience, like, hunger or illness and stuff like that? Because I think we just forget that we're humans sometimes.
My favorite thing that is your experience to tell, but I'm going to tell it, is at your workplace. I don't know if she still works there. At the time, there was an INFJ, and I don't think it was illness. It was that she wasn't eating or something, or there was something like that. And you knew that that wasn't right and that she needs to, like, eat. Mm-hmm. But you laughed because you're like, honestly, I do the same thing. So who am I to be telling her that?
Yeah.
That was funny to me.
She went through a season where she was quite unwell. And it's like, you're surviving on Celsius.
You were like, listen, I have no right to be saying this because I literally would do the same thing. But you can't be doing, like, I'm looking out for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was kind of sidetrack off a sidetrack to say that INFJs and INTJs I know will get really stubborn and also just fully deny if they are ill or hungry. They're like, I'm fine. I'm like, you're literally like, just take a day to rest.
Yeah. So when we were going to film, you were really sick.
Yeah.
We didn't. And I just went on with my life. So this is a makeup day for filming. And so I did have to ask her. I was like, what have I even filming today?
It is. We are actually planning to do 2 filming days in a row, today and tomorrow, which we wouldn't normally do, but we have to catch up.
We still actually need a third one. But maybe we'll do another double week instead of 3 in a row.
All right, whatever you say, manager.
Well,
momager. So let's see if we can actually finally get into the topic.
So the question was the INFJ, INTJ dynamic.
Yeah.
I have not been in a romantic relationship with an INFJ, but I have had friendships.
Yeah, so that's helpful to go on. I had to spend quite a bit of time taking notes and really deeply thinking about it because of my position as an ENFP. So I have done my best just putting that out there. We're just, you have to take it for what it is. We don't have the personal experience, INTJ and INFJ in a romantic. We're just going off of our knowledge.
I really wish we could have gotten our Russian INFJ friend on. Maybe we'll see if we can set up like a Skype or something with her.
One of these days when we figure out how to record remotely.
Yeah, I think that'll be a really great.
I'll try to have her on. So feel free, guys, if you're an INFJ or INTJ in a relationship with the other INFJ, INTJ, and you have thoughts on this, please feel free to let us know. If we're wrong about something, you're like totally off, you're so off, whatever.
I provide counterpoint. Don't let us know because you're probably not right.
That is why she does not control any of our accounts.
Look, I've already made this argument. And here you are, you're like, this is my yeah. Like, I can say these things because the one INTJ and INFJ relationship out there amongst all of the claimed ones is going to say, they're right. There's a lot of ones that are claimed that aren't accurate. But the one knows that they're true. And the ones that don't know that they're true think they're the one.
The 1-1. The 11. I tried following that. I don't know. So, game plan for this. I don't know which way you want to go. I'm moving on. I don't know which way you want to go with this. I kind of have sections here. I wrote a list of what I think are like the commonalities between the INFJ and INTJ. That's kind of naturally where I'd want to start is what do they have in common?
Okay. Introverted intuition?
Yeah. I was thinking more specific traits. So, like, in the vein of introverted intuition, they are both visionaries. I wrote down visionaries. They're both conceptual thinkers. They are both curious and inquisitive in their own ways. I guess I can just read my list. You just let me know if you have thoughts. They're both very generous.
Interesting.
I put INTJ and INFJ.
Is NI generous?
I don't know. I mean, INFJ makes sense with the FE. Mm-hmm. But I've also known INTJs to be very generous, but it's paired with the humble because they're both very humble, that it's often like INTJs especially, they want it to be a secret that they're generous. Like they don't want people to know, but they're secretly like very generous.
INFJs don't really want people, they don't want the attention from it either.
They don't want the attention from it either, but I feel like the INFJ does it more often maybe, and so they just kind of
got used to it.
Is a little bit, people are maybe more aware of it. I don't know. They're both, in my experience, very deeply loyal. INFJ and INTJ equally very deeply loyal to their people. They're both reserved and private by nature.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one reason that, like, I think that's one way that you can kind of tell, because I've talked about this, like, my interactions with, like, other INFJs or other INTJs is, like, coming in on season 3 of, like, a TV show that's been playing, and they're not going to tell you what happened in seasons 1 or 2, so you have to figure it out with, like, context clues and stuff like that.
If you're smart enough.
There are a lot of other types that will give you previously on.
Yeah.
And so, like, if I'm interacting with someone who it's kind of this cat and mouse game, I'm like, oh, there's probably a lot of NI happening there.
Yeah, for sure. And I also think it's important to say, just because I just thought of it when we were talking about the reserved private thing, introversion is not synonymous with being reserved. Mm-hmm. Because there are certain introverted types that I wouldn't consider reserved.
I think INFPs are like a very much a previously on type of person. Like, I don't know if I'd experience them as either reserved or particularly private.
Like, are they an open-faced sandwich? No. But they're more open to, like, I'm not trying to hide anything. And I think that's why INFJ and INTJ in particular have a mystery about them, is because they are also very reserved.
I will also say, I think reserved is the right word, because an INFJ and INTJ isn't necessarily trying to hide anything most of the time.
Yeah, it's not like secrecy.
They're not being secretive, but there are things that you just won't know unless you ask, but how the heck would you know to ask unless you know?
Exactly.
Right? Like, you never told me this. You never asked. In what world would I think to ask that?
Hey, we're going to get into that, because we'll get into that. Last couple things on my list of commonalities. They're both deep thinkers. I think INTJ would be associated with that more than the INFJ, but INFJs also are very deep thinkers. So they can probably have great conversations together.
We have.
They also, because of their inferior SE, they both really enjoy physical comforts, pleasures, like indulging in little things as a way to relax.
Bubble baths, long showers, chocolates.
Yeah, cooking even, or gardening, just like little activities that are relaxing for them and therapeutic. And then lastly, I put us, they're both sarcastic and mischievous. Like they have a similar sense of humor where, especially with, you don't see it until you get to know them and you're like, oh, you're like very witty, sarcastic, and tease people and kind of impish. Mischievous.
I think the other thing, and this probably speaks more to the relationship dynamic, I don't know if you'd ever be able to experience this or had seen this from the outside observing, is like, I find with other INTJs or INFJs, we're able to hold silence really well. Like we can both be content in a space, doing our own thing. It's almost like parallel play, not needing to talk to each other.
You can be introverted together.
We can be introverted together, where I think the other day we were hanging out in here, ENFP, ENTJ, and me, and it happens all the time. It's like we're all working on our own separate projects, and then y'all just start yapping.
Yeah.
And it's like...
There's just comes a point where it's like, there's people in the room, I gotta yap.
Yeah.
I gotta connect. And I have walked in the room and seen you with an INFJ friend or another introverted friend, and y'all are just being introverted somehow, but in the same room together, don't need to interact, and it's just chill.
Yeah, but the added to that, the battery's about to die, so I'm going to try and get this in real fast. The added nuance to that is because we're in NI, it's like somehow we've tapped into a similar flow, so if one of us does speak, it's kind of where both of us were thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that telepathy. You all have telepathy somehow.
I like the Elvis one.
What's that?
The Fool's Rush In one.
Oh, yeah, that's not the same song at all.
I know, that's why I said I like the Elvis one. That love song.
I thought you meant like he did a cover of that song. Like
No.
you liked his version.
No.
I'm like, I don't think he did.
No, I was just thinking of like classic love songs, as it were.
Oh, I see.
And I was like, I like that one.
Okay, all right.
I see if you could start singing it, but you haven't, so.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. That was for all my INTJs and INFJs out there.
I like that one.
Thank you. All right, moving on.
I think to get an INFJ and an INTJ to be friends is pretty interesting, because they're hard to find. It's not like you go to a concert and you found one.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know an INTJ or an INFJ that has willingly gone to a concert.
INTJs and INFJs out there, let us know how you met each other.
Yeah.
How did you find each other?
But like there are things, because I think there is like a deep, like this duty bound part of like an INFJ or an INTJ. It's that loyalty that goes in.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I've known an INTJ or an INFJ that doesn't carry a certain extent of like faith or like commitment to something that's like bigger than themselves. So faith for a lot, but there are other things. It's a commitment that's bigger than themselves, sometimes like an intellectual idea or whatnot. And that's where you'll see them crossing over.
That's fantastic. That actually makes a lot of sense. Basically, my notes here, I have it in sections. I had a section of like what the INFJ can learn from the INTJ and what I see the INTJ learns from the INFJ. I feel like the INFJ learns from the INTJ how to set firm boundaries with others. I think the INFJ can learn from the INTJ to acknowledge their own values and feelings, because the INTJ utilizes FI as their tertiary function, and INFJs using FE, as we know, can often neglect their own values and feelings about something and putting others before their own. So I think the INTJ can help them acknowledge those things.
Yeah, I know one INFJ right now who's in a really unhealthy place, because they went from being in one group and community that they were really locked into, and so taking all of their values and having them applied to herself. And she was going through this process, which I was really proud of, where she's like, I don't know if this is me, let me try it out. And so she was trying to navigate, except she immediately just went into another community with opposite values and has become now consumed by those. And I'm like, that's not you either, but you're going to have to like go through this journey to figure it out, which is a bummer, because like you were so close to
Yeah.
figuring out who you are and what matters to you.
Right. I think the INFJ learns from the INTJ how to manage and handle logistics and technicalities. I think a lot of INFJs, I've seen this with my own mom. She hates anything logistical. So like, let's say you're in the car driving to a destination, like her having to think about the directions of how to get there and also how to like switch lanes and I have to take that exit and just the pre-planning, all of those like legit and thinking about the timing, like we have to get there at this time and then I have to remember to go pick up the kids at this time, like whatever it is. Those logistical things are like a nightmare for INFJs, and INTJs seem to be better at it. I don't think they're maybe as good at it as like an ISTJ, but INTJs are much better at handling the logistics around events. And so I could see that as a benefit for the INFJs having that there to support them in that weakness.
Yeah, I think T offers like a scaffolding where your
Yeah.
S is lacking.
Yeah.
And F can offer a scaffolding where your N might be lacking.
Yeah, I like that. Put it on a t-shirt.
You want that whole thing on a
Add it to the merch list.
So, guys, we have, it's just a list of weird things that I've said mostly and one weird thing that she said.
We're like, someday when we become those YouTubers, we're going to have merch, and these are the things we're going to do.
Yeah. Someday when we become those YouTubers, we're going to have an offset series called
Yeah.
Rational Parks where we take NTs to the national parks and just let them educate us.
Guys, is that not the best idea ever? I would love watching that. It might border on being very annoying,
So obnoxious, but it'd be so funny.
but entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, let's stay on track here. And I'm going to skip down to what the INTJ can learn from the INFJ, but there's kind of a back and forth here. Is the INTJ learns from the INFJ to see the potential in people, but there's a balance in it where the INFJ learns from the INTJ to not get swept away and think to see the truth. Because INTJs, maybe if it becomes unhealthy, can be too skeptical, but they just lean more towards skepticism and like, I need to take my time on this. I kind of don't trust this. They tend to not distrust their intuition. I would say, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I would say like when you have an intuitive feeling about something, you're more likely, I'm going to analyze this, where the INFJ is like more thinks positively about it and is willing to kind of go with it.
Well,
Or maybe trust it a little too much sometimes.
yeah. This kind of came to a head in my workplace a while ago. There was a young man whose performance was just very, very low. And I'm like, we got to let him go. Like, we've got to discharge him. Like, he can't work here. His performance is too low. He's bringing down the team. And the INFJ was like in on that meeting and was like, no, we have to believe in him. We have to, give him more resources.
Yeah.
And one thing I've learned is to use some of my INFJs in my relationships, like in that workplace particularly, is balance. Like, okay, if she says he's worth believing in, let's give it another shot. Didn't work out. But when she's ready to give up on the person too, I know we're past the point of no return on them.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, sometimes we hire people and the next day I'm like, we should fire them. I'm done with them. And someone's like, you do know that like in this line of work, it takes 6 weeks. Like 6 weeks is kind of the
we
point
get a good feel.
where, will they fit culture?
Yeah.
Will they be able to do the task? Sometimes it takes that long for everything to click into place. Like they can look like they're duds.
And then all of a sudden
it clicks and they're your highest performer.
Yeah. But it just wasn't working out.
But yeah, I'm pretty, I'm like, next.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so it goes both ways. The INFJ, in a positive, sees the potential in people, and that can be good. So the INTJ can learn to adopt that a bit. And then also, the INFJ can learn from the INTJ's skeptical nature when it comes to their intuition. So I'm glad you brought that up because we were going to get to it anyway. Another way to put it is like what the INFJ learns from the INTJ is the INFJ can learn, trust your gut feeling about people, even if it's telling you something negative, because it just goes back to what we just said. So even if it's a negative intuition, like listen to that. So lastly, what INTJ learns from the INFJ is I wrote down putting action to compassion. So again, when we were talking about the commonalities, INTJs and INFJs both are very generous. They really care about people. I don't know that INTJs get associated with that a lot, but that's been my experience with them, is they do really care about individuals, especially the ones they really feel loyal to. They have a lot of compassion. I think the INFJ is really good at exemplifying putting action to that more often, where the INTJ might not quite know how to reach out and how to support. I think you're really good at it, but I could see other INTJs that maybe haven't developed their FI very well. Like, how do I appropriately support this person? I really want to. The INFJ shows this is how you do it. I don't know if that makes sense. That was a thought I had. I also said what INTJ learns from the INFJ is obviously acknowledge and deeply consider the emotional aspects of a situation and the importance of the emotional, because I think especially underdeveloped INTJs can just want to disregard the emotional aspect. So the INFJ just reminds them that there is importance in the emotional aspect of things too. Likewise, emotions are an opportunity to explore topics even deeper. I think, again, maybe more underdeveloped INTJs might not want to consider the emotional depth of a thought or of a topic or an idea or a philosophical thought they have. I think the INFJ showcases like, yeah, you can follow the logic there, but there's also an emotional component, and that can bring you to another depth. So I don't know if I'm off there.
I think you're... What's interesting, I'm looking at your list, is...
I'm exposed.
Well, I would say one thing, like the main theme that an INTJ can learn more from an INFJ is the FE aspect. But those last ones, the way that you communicated them, what I heard was more of an FI aspect.
Yeah.
And I think so the natural, because you said even the unhealthy a couple times for the INTJ, which you weren't really saying for the INFJ. So when you did your INFJ list, it was leaning into the TE aspect really heavily. Where this one, it's kind of confuddling, blurring the lines between FI and FE.
Yeah. Well, so I might be putting myself more into it.
I think
because I'm trying to kind of think like an INFJ. I guess I'm just thinking INFJs also, like INTJs with their NI, want to follow conceptual ideas. They are idea generators, and maybe not to the extent that an ENFP is. So I know for me, it could be a little of the influence of my personality, because my NE, I also like to follow ideas. And I can recognize, there's emotional depth, and also you can go down two different tracks, intellectual and emotional, with that idea. So I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I think one thing that INFJs do really, really well is they steward other people's grief and pain well.
Yeah.
And that's something we could all learn from them. But particularly an INTJ, because INTJ can identify ew, there's grief happening over there. But the TE will immediately go to okay, what do we do? How do we because if you're scared, then it's let's tackle the fear. But grief doesn't have an answer. It's just something you have to go through.
Yeah.
It's just something you have to be in. And I remember we had in my workplace, we had a team member pass away years ago. And my boss, he's ENTJ, but he came and he's like, what do we do? There's got to be one of his values, personal values, is there's always a solution.
Yeah.
And
what's the 12-step plan here?
There's always a way to win. And I'm like, I think we just lost. I think we have to take because he's even if you're going to lose, make it a lesson. And I'm like, there's no lesson to learn here, bro.
Yeah.
This is just one where we have to sit in pain
is life.
With the team.
Yeah.
I'm going to cry.
Aww.
It's okay. But thinking about in that time, it's how did the INFJs in my life, how would they steward this?
Yeah.
And what would they do in this moment? Because there isn't a win, and there isn't a lesson, and there isn't a let's do these 12 steps and we'll be done. But they would just go and be in the moment and help people they're
the guidance counselor.
They guide people through their emotions and give them space to be who they needed to be and what they needed to be.
Yeah.
And that was a huge, when I think of your mom, or when I think of our friend, that watching them with other people's grief and how they did that was this is going to be like how I'm going to do this now.
I'm glad you brought that up because I've always been impressed with my mom's, how she deals with grief, because she'll start grieving if she sees a dead squirrel on the side of the road. Like, she's very well acquainted with grief, and she'll feel it easily and deeply because she connects so deeply with any living creature. Yeah. So I've seen her where we have an animal die that she was super connected to, a pet. And when I watch how she goes through the grief, she feels it, she gets it all out, and it's like within a week, she's back. She's herself again, she's fine. And I'm just always impressed by her. I'm like, she just did it. She didn't repress it. It's just like she allowed the grief to happen there in the moment. And because of that, she was able to recover pretty quickly. It's like she just bounces back so well because I think she handles grief so naturally well.
Yeah. And so like when the collective emotion is positive, you know, when people are laughing,
whatever that means,
whatever that is, there's no like question in engaging with that.
Yeah.
But when like the collective emotion is hard, there is question like, how do we engage with that? And I think INFJs do the best job engaging the collective in a collective emotion that's like heavy and hard. And that's a huge thing because otherwise an INTJ can just get lost in the ocean of it.
Yeah. That's so beautiful, guys. We're just gonna cry on this episode.
I got this close.
This is the cry episode.
This is the cry. No, I mean, we could really do some crying episodes.
Oh, listen, this is why when we say we love INFJs, we mean it. Yeah. Because these are the things we see in them. And obviously I'm biased because I grew up with an INFJ mom that I loved so much. But yeah. This episode is just showing what we love about the INFJ. We already did that episode, though. Okay, just to touch on, unless you have further thoughts, I was just going to go over like some potential downfalls.
Go for it, because I need to like re-regulate my emotions.
After the emotional. So I wrote down just a couple points on, again, correct me if I'm totally off, because I'm not an INFJ or an INTJ. I'm trying to observe from the outside and be objective.
Observe.
Exactly. I'm spying. I'm trying to spy. So potential downfalls I could imagine in an INFJ and INTJ relationship, because both are so highly reserved and private people, I could see that potentially leading to secrecy or just a lack of clear communication.
I've got it's a semi-funny story. Most people say it's sad.
For that one or the next one?
No, for that first one.
Okay. Because basically what I mean by that, and I'm sure your story will show it, is I'm not saying they would do this all the time, and I'm sure that if they're healthy enough, they could figure out a solution to it. But I could see that being a potential downfall because of how much they are reserved, they both are, in private. Then let's say something were to come out in the light, and one or the other would be like, why didn't you tell me about that? And it's like, I didn't see why it mattered, you know? And you can't get mad at each other because, like, you both probably do it. You know, I could just see that happening.
So here's the funny story. One of our Russian friend, INFJ, the first year that she lived here with us, we didn't really interact at all. Mm-hmm. At all. And her roommate that came from Russia was an ENFP, and we got on like peanut butter and jelly. You know, we had a great time. One time, the ENFP came and like shoved me, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I want to play." And so then we just like played a bunch of weird like the hand slapping games and stuff like that. Yeah. But the INFJ, like, we were cordial. We were kind to each other.
Yeah.
But we didn't really engage. But we both liked each other enough.
Yeah.
And then after, I think it must have been 4 to 6 months. So
INFJ's and INTJ relationship is a slow burn.
It's a slow burn. It was 4 to 6 months, guys.
It's a slow burn.
She had been wearing like a Harry Potter scarf, and so I knew that she liked Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And I had seen like at the store like a Harry Potter mug. Aww. And I'm like, oh, I think she'll like that. Aww. So I got it for her.
Did it make her cry?
I don't really remember that. I got it for her, and I like left it on the table with a note that's just like, hey, thought of you, thought you'd like that.
Aww.
And then and then in response, she got me a mug with a note.
That's so cute.
And like that was like the slow burn on because we both like liked each other enough, but we didn't know that the other one wanted to be friends with us. type of thing. So we were just supposed to be respectful housemates that were being cordial, but not like where I led. Like the ENFP was just like
It's immediate. Yeah. Because the ENFP will come after you and hunt you down and adopt you and force you to be
it was
their
just
friend.
a slow burn of and then like I mean we talked about it. We're like we didn't like you. I didn't know you liked me. I didn't know you liked me. I didn't know you wanted to be friends. Da-da-da. We lost 6 months of.
Oh my gosh.
And now it's sad because we don't.
A better
we don't
love
live
story
together
than Twilight
anymore. And we could have had those 6 months.
But what I love about that is like you guys will have a lifelong loyal bond, even though you never really see each other. I'm sure if you guys saw each other in 5 years, like nothing would change. Yeah, I love that.
But yeah, so maybe all the INTJ, INFJ relationships are just people passing notes. Like, I thought of you and thought you would like this.
Aww.
And like, that was a ton of, after the mugs, the beginning of like our relationship was like those little things where it's like, oh, here's a chocolate, or here, I brought this back from this. And
Aww.
just these tiny little.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's the highly private and lack of clear communication.
But see, that's funny because that's a funny example. Like I
told you it's a funnier one.
More of a positive.
Yeah.
I can see how that can become negative, potentially even be the start of like tension or an argument but I don't know, not always, but I could just see it as a potential. Another potential downfall in this relationship, I could see trying to protect one another from either discomfort or to not burden the other. And that could potentially lead to more like new issues or unresolved issues. So example is that like with house chores or something, or let's say something like, I can't even think of a clear example, maybe you can think of it, but like something really bad happens and the INTJ just says, I don't want to burden INFJ with this. I don't want her or him to feel burdened by this or be upset because I can just handle this on my own anyway. So I'm just going to deal with it, get it taken care of. The INFJ then finds out about it and is like, why didn't you tell me? I could just see that happening often and it going both ways where the INFJ is like, I don't want to burden INTJ with this. So they think they're doing the right thing by not sharing it or trying to.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's like a naughty wanting to burden. I just think because we kind of hit where they're both types are like more reserved or private, there is a higher like, I need my space and my independence.
Yeah.
And so it can blip and it can be like, oh, I worked through that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even I didn't want to burden you. It's just like, that was actually no longer relevant.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's one. Then 2 more. I said INFJs are definitely, and it depends on how much they have developed and worked on this issue, if it is an issue for them. They can be more sensitive to perceived rejection, a little more sensitive to criticism. That's not to say that all INFJs are like that. I know there are INFJs that are super healthy, mature, that they can handle criticism very well, but I do know that like that is a sensitivity.
I will say one of my experiences with INFJs is they want it straight, but they want to give it sugar-coated.
You have to fluff the language a bit.
Like, they're like, make me cry. I'm like, I don't know if I want to make you cry giving you this feedback.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then also when they give, I'm like, I don't even know if you gave any feedback.
Yeah, because you were trying to be too nice about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think I also wrote down on the next one, it kind of just goes to INFJs, they want encouragement. And maybe they wouldn't even say that because they're so good at encouraging others around them, but they also crave encouragement and they need it.
I can think of an INFJ that I know.
And that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing.
Like, when they were in school, they had a list of everybody's birthdays, and they brought something for each person's birthday to make it special. And then their birthday came and went, and like none of the people in school with them responded or like noted or brought them something special. And it wasn't that they like they didn't want to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
But I think they wanted like someone to think of them in the relational aspect of like, we're in school together. Not because like their friends and family noted their birthday.
Yeah.
But like the peer group.
Yeah.
And that was like, as a friend, you couldn't celebrate their birthday in that need that they had.
Yeah, I think that's a good example. Like, INFJs need encouragement, and sure that could go to an unhealthy where they're becoming needy, but I don't see it that way. I think INFJs, in a normal, healthy way, they just need encouragement, maybe more than other types from time to time. And I think I also am the same way. I just, maybe being NF in general, I'm someone that like, I need words of encouragement every once in a while. And maybe an ISTJ wouldn't need that as much. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that I use, and this can go two ways. This can be useful or detrimental. Like the compliment sandwich, you know, like it's like positive. Here's a feedback, negative, or positive again, not positive.
Yeah.
If you are not sincere in the positives when you're giving that, it is a condescending sandwich.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If you're like, I've got to find some nice things to say so I can say this other thing I really want to say.
Yeah.
It's like that. But like, I use that tool as like a meditative practice to be like, man, she's driving me crazy and I need to tell her to stop eating my Doritos or whatever it is. If I just fixate on that, then the feedback's going to be like, stop eating my Doritos, I hate you, or, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But like when I start to fixate on the other things that, and we've worked through the Doritos so much that I feel like it's fine.
I replaced them. I
know,
replaced them.
you did. And that's why I feel like it's fine to bring up, because we worked through this issue.
We need couples counseling about the Doritos.
I don't care, but that's why I'm like, it's a small thing. I just want to make it clear. It's like, there's not unresolved feelings about Doritos happening here.
Off camera, we're constantly just fighting about Doritos.
But like, so, you know, I have that moment, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, if I just give that feedback, it's going to come back too direct, too harsh, too much confrontation. My ENFP friend needs cushioning, so I need cushioning in my spirit. And remember what I actually do love about her, not fixated on the Doritos, to give that, like...
Thank you for continuing on what I was going to say.
Is that what you...
Pretty much, that's perfect.
Oh, okay.
And it's better because it came from you, because you're an INTJ.
Yeah.
Because I was just going to say, like, what I'm saying here in the potential downfall of this is the INTJ, if they don't put in the conscious effort, they can just be way too blunt, where maybe they're not trying to be mean, but to an INFJ's ear, the way that they filter things, it will come across mean. So it's good for the INTJ to learn and be conscientious when they're with their INFJ. If I have criticism, the INFJ wants you to be honest, okay? Their BS meter is very high.
Yes.
They know if you're lying. They know if you're...
Both have a high BS meter.
Yeah. So I'm not saying don't tell the truth. The INFJ wants to hear the truth, and they're going to know if you're lying. The point being is cushion the language just enough where the INFJ knows you're not attacking them or saying that they're a bad person, if that makes sense. So that's the delicate balance that goes back and forth, is both the INFJ and INTJ are going to want the other to be very honest with them. It's just how you go about it. So for the INFJ, if you put way too much fluff language around it, you don't need to do that. The INTJ is just like, just tell me. Like, you're probably not going to hurt their feelings.
Please don't be mean.
Like, don't be mean to them.
Like, you don't need to be excessively mean.
Right. But don't be afraid of just being more direct of, like, this is how it is. Because the INTJ isn't as likely to be hurt by that.
The INTJ does tend to approach, like, emotional through T, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you go, your cognitive function stack, if you go T to F, then you're going to approach all your F kind of through T.
Yeah.
And if you go F to T, you're going to approach your T through F. Different types, you're going to see that with stronger leanings and different health levels and stuff like that. But like, I know that I like built life philosophies around like, oh, my feelings are resilient. They will bounce back.
Yeah.
It's okay for them to be hurt for a minute because I can work through it. When you don't tell me the truth, you don't trust me to manage my own feelings, like things like that.
Yeah.
Where like someone who is approaching their thinking through their feelings is going to be like, if I tell you that way, I will destroy you. I will crush you, whatever it is. Yeah. So, at least for me, and I will speak on behalf of all INTJs everywhere, I think there is there's no reason to be excessively mean. Like,
no.
But
don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. But
as INFJs are notorious for being
notorious assholes. Like, being honest is more important to the INTJ than
how you deliver it.
Yeah. So it goes like honesty, delivery, where for an INFJ, like delivery, honesty.
Perfect way to sum that up. And I think the way we're
trying to keep going back, it's like, y'all don't need to be mean.
Yeah, please don't be an asshole. Okay, let's have human decency. This is actually flowing all perfectly because we're getting close to the end here. That actually we really already said it, but it leans into what Megan said in your email when you emailed me. I asked you to clarify, like, are there any specific details you want us to touch on? And it was just two things. One of them was communication, how in particular, how does the INTJ communicate feelings to the INFJ, and how can the INFJ communicate thoughts to the INTJ? And feel free to share your thoughts on that. And then the final one, which we'll touch at the end, is if we had any thoughts on potential activities they might enjoy together.
I think the thoughts and feelings question, the thing that you need more than anything else is just to create space with permission. And you can kind of like broach it like, hey, I'd like to discuss your thoughts on this. And then use silence because they're thinking. And if you ask they are thinking, they're figuring it out.
Are you talking about the INTJ?
Like if an INTJ is like, hey, I'd like to discuss your thoughts on this to an INFJ, that's all you need. And then silence and space. Like not space isn't physically leave, but space isn't, I am creating space for you.
I want your thoughts on this. Walks away.
Right, not that. But like, we're going to pretend to be an INFJ. Okay. It's going to be very easy. You're just going to have to be quiet for most of the time. Okay. I'd like to discuss your thoughts on the performative nature of sneezing. Now, pause. What's happening is they're thinking.
Yes.
With TE, I have all of my thoughts ready. And I'm going to shoot. So I'm going to shut up and wait.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I witnessed this with my INFJ mother all the time. Now, of course, this isn't specific to an INTJ speaking to her. In general, I think I brought this up before on an episode. ENFP, ENTP father, when we are talking with her and we want to discuss a topic, he and I will just boop, 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 just get it out there and give our thoughts as we're formulating them. And we forget, oh yeah, she needs time to process, to think really deeply about her thoughts before she shares them. So she can end up feeling left in the dust and be like, whoa, guys, slow down. Like, I'm not there. Like, give me some. So everyone is different how they formulate their thoughts and get there. So that is a good reminder. With the TE, the INTJ especially can and I've seen her do it. Like, I can see, you definitely, take your time and think about it, but you're much quicker at being able to get it out into words.
Yeah, when we did our relationship advice, I was having to beat back ENTJ because, ENTJ had thoughts, INTJ had thoughts, ENFP liked our thoughts.
I'm trying to get to the TE through my FI. I'm like, guys, slow down, I can't get there.
And that was huge learning. But vice versa, I'll pretend to be the INTJ in this scenario.
Okay.
So you're going to ask me about my feelings.
Hello, INTJ. I'm an INFJ. Okay. And I love you. And I would like to know your feelings about XYZ.
Pause. Create space.
Create space.
Create silence. INFJ probably already knows INTJ's feelings. INTJ probably doesn't know their feelings yet.
That's true.
So
INFJ already knows, but...
So I think the best thing to do, again, because we're having to go through NITEFI, give just a lot of space. Not physical space, emotional space in the moment through silence.
Yeah.
You can maybe ask a leading question both ways. Hey, I believe in the performative nature of sneezing. I'd love to know your opinions. Do you think you can control the sound of your sneeze?
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, I want to know how you're feeling about the new stoplight up on First Street.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had any feelings about that. Give me some time to process it. And with me...
Why don't you ever talk to me about the new light up on First Street? I would love to do that.
You've never asked.
Actually, no, I take that back because you brought up the performative nature of sneezing and I got really angry. So maybe don't do that.
But I'd love to know how you feel about it. And then INFJ might know INTJ hates change for a second and then gets on board.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it's so you can kind of lead in that. It's
That's
hey,
great.
I know historically you've been a little resistant to change, but then you kind of adapt once you have time to process the idea of it. How are you doing with that?
I love that, and I'm so glad you were here to answer that because for some reason, my brain couldn't quite get to, I had some thoughts about her question, but I just knew you were gonna, know what to say.
What was your answer gonna be? I'm just curious.
Oh, no.
Just text each other?
No. Slip notes under the door. Yeah, that was gonna, I'm just ruining relationships here.
Give each other mugs and wait.
Start speaking in Morse code. Just become ultra hermit. No, the only thoughts I had on it were I'm glad you gave that as the groundwork because skipping ahead now from that is, in general, when you're communicating together, you have to, with any relationship, you have to meet in the middle and you have to acknowledge. The INFJ has to acknowledge. The INTJ has feeling because they're a human being, yes, but they are, at the end of the day, still going to naturally be a thinking type, and vice versa. The INTJ can't expect the INFJ to think and feel exactly like the way they do. So obviously there has to be a meet in the middle, temper your expectations for each other. And like ENTJ brought up in our relationship advice video, and we both agreed with her, is also just broadly, obviously there's going to be so many times where you guys have to communicate these things, but also understand timing of, sometimes there's going to be times where INTJ just isn't going to be able to meet this emotional need to the extent that I need it. So it's good to have another friend that you can turn to in those times. Now, that's not going to happen all the time. I'm just saying in like a circumstance where, yes, INTJ can try their best, but this happens to us all the time. I have friends where it's like,
okay, you don't need to brag about having friends.
I'm just, hello. I'm just thinking, literally this week was a good example. I was going through processing a deep emotion on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really good where I was able to share it with you and process it with you, and you helped me a lot. But I also went and shared it with my mom, INFJ, and my ISFP friend as well, to get another level of processing that it was all valuable.
Yeah.
Equally valuable.
Also, guys, don't sleep on your moms. Like, just want to throw that out there. Because, like,
have you called your mom lately?
Yeah, basically, like, INFJ on a mom is a big win for you, but the mom
I did win the mom lottery.
Of having a mom is like, sometimes you just need to talk to your mom.
It's true. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Unless your mom is an asshole and she's a horrible person. I understand that. Maybe then don't do that.
But, like, find someone who is a mom to you. And like,
find a mom.
Find a mom.
It's just good to have a mom in life.
Yeah.
It is.
And so call your mom. Call your grandma.
And if you don't have one, we'll be your mom.
Ah, okay. Together.
We will. Together.
One united mom.
We are your mom.
We love you and we're proud of you.
Absolutely. We're proud of you.
And your mom and I are proud of you.
So proud, little Johnny. We're so proud. Someone out there is named Johnny and he's crying right now.
Okay.
Sobbing.
But, I mean, if you have look, we are a poor mom's substitute. So, what?
God, speak for yourself.
You have, look.
I think I'm a great MBTI mom.
Yes, but if you have, like...
Let's change the channel name to your MBTI moms.
No, thank you. If you have a real mom who's not a complete, like, abusive asshole, pick them before us. Call your mom, tell her you love her.
So to wrap up that whole section, that's kind of the main section of the video. I hope that was helpful. Obviously, be sure to let us know your thoughts if we're totally off, if you have thoughts to add to any of that, or more that we didn't touch on. You're like, oh, you didn't touch on this. Please let us know in the comments. I would love to read that. So to end this, we're going to touch on the last thing she asked, which is ideas of activities. Now, this was difficult at first because I'm like, I don't know, like, that is so personal. Like, one person might love horseback riding and another person loves pottery, and
do it
I
together.
don't know. So I had to think a little
pottery
more.
On horseback.
I had to really think about this and think a little more broadly. So you let me know your thoughts and if you would add anything. I put down INTJ and INFJ. I was like, what types are we talking about? INTJ and INFJ both use SE as their inferior function, as we mentioned before. So in terms of activities, I think both would enjoy indulging in SE activities that are typically more kind of low-key and therapeutic. So I'm not thinking INTJs and INFJs are like jumping off cliffs in their spare time.
I've been cliff jumping.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're not capable.
I did it once. I don't think I'll do it again.
I just don't think that that's like a huge drive for an INTJ and INFJ. It's like, oh yeah, on the weekends I like to go cliff jumping or something. Maybe.
Have you ever been cliff jumping?
No, and that would terrify me.
Yeah, you'd probably be scared.
I'd be scared. But I think more regularly I would see them doing things that involve their SE, but in a more low-key way. So like it could be anything from gardening to cooking and baking to maybe pottery, maybe nature walks, foraging. I know some of you freaks out there love mushroom foraging. Never got into that. I'd like to think one of these days what's going to happen is I'm going to feel left out. And I know it's going to creep up on me when I'm an old lady. I'm going to be like, I'm going to finally get it. I'm like, mushroom foraging is going to become my thing.
And then she will die from mushroom poisoning.
And then, yeah, I'm going to pick the wrong mushroom and that's how I'm going to die. But we'll get there when we get there.
I always knew I would die of mushroom toxicity. I just never thought it would be so soon. Like,
yeah.
That's going to be the epitaph on her gravestone. But she lived to be 112, so.
Yeah, exactly. I made it a long way at least. Maybe specific sports. I think about you with archery. I don't. Yeah, I think INTJs and INFJs might have an athletic sport.
I'm going to say something odd.
Okay, I love that.
I have no grounds of proof except personal experience as anecdote at this time.
Okay.
INTJs are drawn to archery, like more than the other types. Because I know my handful of INTJs.
You don't think ISTPs are out there?
I'm sure ISTPs are out there as archery, but they'd also be playing football or this or that or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't see a ton of INTJs who are like, I'll play football too.
Yeah.
But I know enough INTJs that they have a bow and an archery and all that stuff. And it's like...
Archery. By INTJs, for INTJs.
Yeah. It's very odd. And then, but it's recurve, like archery. It's not the compound.
Yeah.
Because then you meet the other types that are like, oh, I got a compound bow, because they just want to destroy things.
Yeah.
But there's an art or whatever.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a high skill level involved. Yeah. You have to think strategically to hit the mark. I could totally, yeah.
I also feel like INTJs are probably very drawn to the Winter Olympic sport curling. Because they call it chess on ice.
Archery, chess, curling, those are INTJ coded sports.
Yeah, that's it.
I get
INTJ
it.
Coded.
I get it. Totally get it. So there you go. That's our answer. Forget everything else. You and your lovely INTJ or INFJ partner, just go do archery.
Or curling.
For the rest of your life. That's all you do.
Curling.
Or curling. Yeah, so the chances are the INTJ and the INFJ are already going to have their SE activity that they enjoy. So I think the idea is if you can find one that you both can come together and enjoy, and you don't necessarily have to do it all the time, but maybe one or the other wants to bring the other into their activity and try it out. Even if you're not super into it, just try it out together. So it's a good bonding experience. I put down, this might be more INTJ coded, but something that could involve engaging the visionary aspect of NI. I think that kind of goes into down here. I was going to say taking classes together, attending lectures together. Depends on who you are and your interests, but signing up for courses in a topic that interests both of you. But I don't know what you have to say about that. I'm just thinking
I think you really took a TE approach to engaging the NI. I can tell you missed the low-hanging fruit.
Oh. What did I miss?
I thought this was going to be number one in your observations. It's insane to me that you didn't see this.
What is it?
Movies and TV.
Oh.
INTJs and INFJs.
Yeah.
Anyone will watch a show together, but they will watch movies together and then discuss the movies and then discuss the TV show.
Maybe I didn't even bring it up because to me that's such a watch movies and TV. Everyone does that.
They are they will be film analysis and film critics.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
When your mom and I watched 24 together, we would be talking about it the entire time. Not just when we're watching it, but when we weren't watching it, we're just in the kitchen and we're what about 24? Do you think da-da-da? And it's so dumb because it happened. That show was old. But INFJ and Hunger Games, when the new Hunger Games book came out, Russian INFJ and I were messaging each other about it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Aww. And so it's entering into that fantasy world with the NI. And I'm how did you miss that?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now that you say it, there you go. I totally missed that. That kind of, I said book clubs.
Again, you hit a very TE approach to it.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be. Every INFJ I know is a bookworm. They love books. Now the genre might be different. Mm. But what I said is join one, start one, or create a 2-person book club where both of you decide we're going to read this book, this fantasy series, or this whatever. And then you both have your own little book club where you read it and then you once a week talk about it. Would I ever want to do that? Ew, no, yuck. But I'm trying to think maybe, I don't know, maybe an INFJ and INTJ would enjoy
Another offshoot when we have a very successful YouTube channel and series is we're going to do a series called ENFP Reads. And it's going to be a 2-person book club, INTJ and ENFP reading together with y'all, the audience who chooses to participate in it. And it's going to be books that ENFP should have read and did not read.
Yeah.
So we'll read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. and we'll do little like chapter check-ins and talk about it.
That actually would be really funny. I think people would enjoy that.
You like how I'm coming up with other YouTube channels?
Yeah, that channel is the viewers for that are mostly just going to be INFJs and INTJs making fun of me.
Unless they want to read too.
Okay, we're going to start an online book club at some point, and I will go with it begrudgingly.
It's years away because we have to do Rational Parks and couch surfing first. And Wig Out.
Way down the pipeline. But hey, guys, just so you know, you have so much to look forward to, and we're sticking around for the long run. Because look at all these ideas. We got to make them happen. Yeah, well, we'll just say it here at the end. I am sorry.
Can you read it like you were studying them?
INTJs, I wrote down, INTJs seem to like games. I don't get it. And listen, I know other ENFPs that love board games and stuff like that, so maybe I'm a weird ENFP, but INTJs, oh my gosh, every single one of them, they love a game. They love a game. They love a board game. They love a card game. They love whatever it is, they love a game. Okay? That's all. And I can understand why the INTJs probably are drawn to those things, but with that said, I also wrote down, in my experience, I don't think all INFJs are as into games and stuff like INTJs are. But I have known INFJs that are. So it's up to you, as an INFJ and INTJ couple, you know each other. Maybe you both really love games, and that's a great way to bond. I don't get it, but I'm not going to judge you. Even though I sound really judgmental right now, I'm not. Okay, just do your thing.
You seem just like very oddly passionate about. Are you trying to defend yourself from the people who are going to hate you for not understanding games? Like, what's happening?
I do. I feel a little passionate, and I think it's a little bit of the FOMO because I'm mad that I don't get it.
Oh, I see.
I don't understand games. I don't understand video games. I don't get it, and I'm mad about it because like I kind of want to, but I just don't. And I feel like the world wants me to, and I don't get it. Sorry, you can't make me. That's all I have to say.
Nobody's trying to make you play a game right now.
I perpetually feel like I walk around perpetually feeling like pressure that I need to be playing a board game right now at all times.
That can't be true.
I think it is somewhere in my subconscious. I would have to talk to Carl Jung about it, but I think, or Freud or something. Maybe it has to do with my parents. I don't know. I think there's something deep in my subconscious where I'm like, it was like with the coffee. I just walked around feeling like everyone was pressuring me to like coffee, like the universe was. And so I finally, now I'm a coffee drinker. And you know what? 5 years from now, I'm going to be playing board games. So
to be fair though, like
there you go. Are you happy, universe? I finally am playing a board game.
I think reading it is just like, without all of your emotion that just happened, like INTJs seem to like games. But not all INFJs I know are into games. But it's a possibility, where the way you presented it was like, INTJs like games!
I got really defensive.
I'm like, no, this isn't even an ENFP episode. This is an INTJ. Tell us if you like games in the comment section down below.
Thank you guys
What's your favorite game? What's a great beginner game for our ENFP? I do not think she would do well with Resistance or Werewolf because she would probably cry right now. But like we need maybe Go Fish, maybe Old Maid,
baby games.
But let us know what you think would be a great game to start. I tried to teach her how to play Wavelengths the other day. Didn't go great, but you weren't feeling well, so maybe we'll try again when you're healthy.
I think I get it now. Yeah, it did take a long time though.
She just had to watch me play with ENTJ for a minute.
That's how I learned.
Yeah. But let us know what games we should introduce her to. Maybe she'll join the cult,
and we'll record it for your viewing pleasure.
Yes. Let us know any thoughts that you have about like this is just really the beauty of anything MBTI is like. It's the tip of the iceberg. It's really
the never-ending story.
It's really just a tip of the iceberg, honestly. So
I actually hated that movie. Sorry, continue.
We could go and go, but I think this is a pretty good, like, from our experience oversight. One, as Jane Goodall observing the INTJ, INFJ, and then as the INTJ specimen representing all INTJs in the world.
Oh, God. You just gave me a great idea for Halloween. Guys, when Halloween comes around, I'm just going to dress like Jane Goodall. And people are going to be like, why are you dressed like whatever. I'm going to be like, I'm the Jane Goodall of
MBTI.
The MBTI and the INTJ is my subject.
Yeah.
That's going to be my costume.
Do us a favor, like, comment, subscribe.
Subscribble.
Feed the algorithm. Yeah, do the subscribble. But, like, comment something interesting.
Yeah, we don't want any uninteresting comments. I'm going to block you.
No, shut up.
If you say something uninteresting, blocked.
Yes. Do something. Shut up again. Do something interesting because, like, we love the support.
This world isn't interesting enough.
And, yeah, the world isn't super interesting. So, tell us a thing that you want to tell us.
I would like to push back on this, and I want someone to... Can you please comment something extraordinarily boring?
You can do that, too.
And uninteresting.
This is probably what I want to say. Subvert expectations in your comment.
All right.
Be boring. Be interesting.
All right, whatever. Listen, I'm just happy with whatever you want to comment.
Yeah, that too.
This is probably going to be a long one.
Yeah.
So there you go. Just is what it is. But I wanted to get this out for you guys because it was very requested. So
it's a highly requested episode.
if you want more deep dives like this on specific dynamics, just let us know.
Yeah. I think that's
guys.
everything.
Thank you so much for being here. We love you.
Send us pictures of your pets.
Yes, send us pictures of
We
your
will
pets.
feature them on the INTJ and Cat show.
That was a kiss for you.
And we're proud of you, Junior.
Yeah, we're so proud of you from your moms on the internet, your MBTI moms. All right. Bye, guys. Bye.